Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We are back from our lovely holiday in Tenerife and we've come back to some absolutely blisteringly hot weather. I reckon it's about 36, 37 today, which is about 10 degrees more than what we've been having in Tenerife. Maybe even a little bit closer to 40 at the moment. I've found a little bit of shade in the garden to do this video. And I just wanted to quickly touch on the subject of Ryanair and our awful experience that we had yesterday. So we booked the flight some months ago, and it said if you had certain documents and stuff, you could get a discount on their flights compared to where you live, etc, etc. So cutting a real long story short, Sophie and Carter didn't have the right documents, but where my original documents was issued, I had the right documents. Now we booked the flight, I got this discount, which is fine. Okay, we get to the airport in Spain coming out to Tenerife, and it was all fine. Showed the guy the document, he said yep, no problem, carry on. Away we go. On the way back from Tenerife back to Spain, we had an absolute nightmare. So I get to the desk, the lady asked for the document. I showed her the document. She said no, you need something else. I said, well, on the way out here we never had this problem. I said, it's, you know, the same document what I showed on the way out here. No. Anyway, wouldn't have it. Sophie and Carter already checked in, their case was gone. I had done my case completely separate and my booking was separate. I tried to get a little bit of extra legroom, obviously being quite tall. So anyway, we booked, my booking was totally separate. So anyway, we get to the point where I'm trying to put my case in. The lady wasn't having it. She said, no, you've got to go over to the Ryanair desk and pay the difference in the flight between the discounted price and the price that it should be. So I said, how much is that? Thinking it was going to be 20, 30 euros. 200 euros, just a few cents short of 200 euros is 199 euros and 86 cents, something like that. Extra on top of the flight that I'd already paid. Anyway, I was a little bit miffed about it, but I said, no problem. If that's got to be, it's got to be. I said, can I pay it here? She said, no, you've got to go over to the Ryanair desk. Now, bear in mind, there was a huge queue there. She said to me, once you've paid it, bring the ticket back to prove that you've paid it, and I will check you in, give you your boarding pass and take your case. So I said, where's the desk? Over there in front of the pharmacy. Couldn't really find it. Anyway, found it after a little struggle. The sign's about the size of a matchbox. Go up to the desk, waiting for the lady. A little bit of an attitude. I said, I've got to pay this money. I said, it's an extra 200 euros. How it's got to that, etc, etc, I don't know. She said to me, right, are you going to pay in cash? I went, no, because I didn't have an awful lot of cash with me. I said, I'll pay by card. I've been paying, you know, various things on, you know, with the cards now. I don't know whether anyone else uses the same thing. Basically, my cards are registered on my phone, so you just tap and go, tap and go. If you want to pay for a coffee, tap, go. Put petrol in, a restaurant, anywhere. The whole holiday, been no problems whatsoever. Paying by card. We took some cash with us, obviously. We used the cash, so that was gone. Had no cash left. I think I had 50 euros left in my pocket, and they wanted 200 euros extra. Ridiculous, 200 euros. So I said to the lady, I'll have to pay by card. She said, okay, no problem. She said, we need the same card as what you booked your flight with. So I thought, what was that? Because it was like about 7 or 8 months ago, I think we booked it. And I thought, oh no, I booked it on my Santander. Now, as anyone that follows my channel will know, me and Santander have had a big fallout. They've closed my account, so I now don't have that card. Obviously, well, I've still got the card, but the account's closed. No money in there because they'd sent it back to me by cheque. I've still got that cheque because I'm not in a position to be able to bank it. So 6 months later, I'm still holding a cheque. Well, 5 months, I think, holding a cheque that I can't do anything with. My next idea is to call Santander next week, and I will be asking them to send me a bank transfer. If they can't do that, I have no other choice but to take them to court. What other choice have I got to get my money back? They're sending me an instrument that I can't use. I can't bank the cheque. My online banking that I've got doesn't accept cheques. Like some banks, you can photograph the cheque and it banks it for you. I don't have that facility. Anyway, cutting a long story short, I don't have that card. So I said to the lady, I'm sorry, I don't have that card, but I have got my phone here. I've been paying my whole holiday with it for my online banking. So I've got my card registered on my phone. No, we need the physical card and we need it from your previous account. So I explained the situation. I said that the previous account's been closed. I have no way of doing that in the last 6 months, or it was about 7 months, whenever it was. Since we booked the thing, the account's been closed. She said, right. She goes, well, you'll have to get me a physical card. I said, well, I can't get you a physical card. I've got it on my phone. I don't carry the physical card. It's on my phone. She said, but that's no good. She goes, because I can't see the card number. I said, surely Ryanair have got a card terminal where they can type it in. Like my restaurant's got it, Sophie's restaurant's got it. Everywhere we've been to in Tenerife had it, where you can just put it on the card terminal, touch it and pay. If you need to, you can put your PIN in, exactly the same. Go to a supermarket, anywhere. But Ryanair doesn't have this facility. They have to put it on a computer. Then they have to hand write out the ticket. All very suspect. Anyway, I said, I can't do it. She goes, well, you need to go and draw the cash out. I said, I can't draw the cash out because I can't put my phone in the card machine, so I can't draw the cash out. I have got a video of this, and I will be showing you it on this video as well. I'll attach it afterwards to prove exactly what's going on, because I think sometimes people doubt what I'm saying is true, because we seem to somehow get in some sort of drama wherever we end up going. I don't know whether it's me or the situation I put myself in. But anyway, so I said, I can't draw the cash out because I can't put my phone into a cash point. So what am I supposed to do? Then you're going to need to phone someone. I said, so I can phone up my dad and get his card. But I said, but I can give you the card details, because you go into your app and it says show card details. No, we can't use that. I said, so I can phone up one of my friends, one of my dad, like my dad, anyone else. I can phone them up and get card details, but you can't take card details off of me who's getting on the flight. No, because it hasn't got your name on there. I said, but I'm showing you that I'm opening the app on my phone, so it's obviously my account. I said, and you won't be able to see the name on my dad's card or the name on my friend's card if I ask them to use their credit card. Anyway, 1 hour this was taking. 1 hour. They were just refusing to take my card. In the end, she said, oh, give it to me. This was the attitude. Give it to me, I'll try it. She taps it all in, comes straight out of the account. No problem whatsoever. So either they were being funny or they genuinely can't take your card. But it's just a little warning for anyone that's silly enough to book with Ryanair. In my opinion, the worst airline that's out there. You must take a physical card with you, because say you have to pay for oversized luggage, or you have to pay for in excess of weight, or whatever you have to pay at the airports, they don't have a card terminal that you can touch. They have to put it on a computer, and if you haven't got your physical card, they can't do it, allegedly. I tried to remain calm, but it was absolutely driving me nuts that I could phone up someone, quite embarrassing really, ask them to use their card details where they get a transaction fee and everything else, where my card's in euros, and they'll take that over the phone. So they'll let my dad or my friend read the card number over the phone and put it in, but they won't let me read the card number to them from my own bank account. They can't touch the thing, or they want cash. You work it out. But that was the last time I will ever fly with Ryanair. The aggravation we had, then we had to rush through the airport because obviously the plane was boarding. None of us could eat, so we had to eat the junk that they serve on the plane, and then there was various bits that they didn't have. So anyway, that's just my experience with Ryanair. I'll never ever fly with them again. Watch now and I'll show you the actual argument that we was having. They wasn't happy about me filming it, but I couldn't care. People have to understand how difficult it is to fly with Ryanair if you have any problems. Thanks a lot, guys. I'll speak to you soon. So what I'm just checking with you, you said I'm okay to phone my father and get a card number off of him, yeah? Of a different person, that nothing to do with the flight, so give you his card number. But if I'm giving you the card number, yeah. So this is my card, so this is my name. So I'm giving you the card number off of my debit card. You've asked, you can't take a contactless payment, and you can't do it. It's only, I've paid the whole holiday on this card, and you're saying that you can't take a debit card, like a contactless payment. And then I'm videoing this because I want proof of how bad this is. I will be putting this all over YouTube and everything. But what I'm saying is the card number is my card, and now first of all, you can't take a contactless payment, which I've paid the whole holiday with, and now I'm giving you the card number, which you've asked for, but you can have it off of my father, but you can't take it off of me.